purge the rolls of voters who were allegedly ineligible to vote. According to the Brennan Center for Justice, 12,000 eligible voters were wrongly identified as convicted felons. They were kicked off the rolls. That number is 22 times larger than the 537 votes by which Bush won the state and then the presidency. So what do you say to those who believe this is another Republican governor trying to rig another presidential election?
This process is to ensure that non-citizens do not cast a vote in this election and in future elections. And to be sure, there are certainly some issues with the data. I heard your opening statement that an Army veteran was identified. He presented his paperwork and will not be removed from the voter rolls. But we can fix this. The Department of Homeland Security has a database that's called SAVE, which tracks immigration from beginning to end. If President Obama's administration would release the information in that database and let us cross-check, it would be less likely that people would be contacted and identified that are, in fact, United States citizens. The administration doesn't want to do that, and the valid question is why? Because they want to politicize this and make this a political discussion rather than a discussion about operating under the rule of law.
Republican Party of Florida Chairman Lenny Curry. Lenny, thanks for your time this morning. I appreciate it. I want to bring in now Congressman Deutch of the 19th District of Florida. Sir, it's good to have you with us this morning. I know you've been listening there to Lenny Curry and hearing his responses, and you met this week, or will meet this week, with Bill Internicola, that vet we spoke of, the World War II vet whose voting rights were taken away by this purge. Lenny Curry says that he'll be reinstated, but it truly doesn't take away the sting of this happening or the fact that there are other people out there like Bill that this could happen to and not know about it until the day they go to vote.
Right, that's exactly right. Listen to what he just said. He said this isn't a big deal. So we have a Bronze Star winning Battle of the Bulge veteran that we inadvertently sent a letter to telling him that he's not a citizen, and if he just shows his papers, he'll be able to vote. That's what the Republican Party chair just told you. That's outrageous. This isn't a reasonable approach that they're taking. This is an approach, Thomas, which we know already, if this doesn't stop, based on the initial results, that there are potentially 35 to 40,000 Floridians, eligible voters, who will be tossed off of the voting rolls. He's wrong when he says they're not going to be stripped from the rolls. They absolutely will be kicked off because they're going to receive a letter that says if they don't respond, they won't have the opportunity to vote. That's exactly what they're doing. This is the most brazen attempt that I've ever seen to suppress the participation in our democracy. That's why we've stood up against this, and that's why we're telling the governor he's got to stop this and make sure that the integrity of our elections is upheld by not kicking eligible voters off of our voter rolls.
Let's talk about that, because you and other Democrats are calling on the governor, Governor Scott, to stop the purge. What concrete actions are taking in Florida to counteract this?
Well, first of all, we've sent a letter to the governor pointing out to him that this process that he's put in place is one that has no transparency, there's no accountability. It calls into question the whole idea of where this idea came from. We don't know if the governor has come up with this idea on his own. We know that when he discussed it with the former Secretary of State, the Secretary of State of Florida told him that he was uncomfortable going forward with this because he knew that this was going to be the likely outcome. So we need the governor to stop this if there's going to be any hope of having a fair and a better understanding that there's real integrity in our system. He's calling that into question right now. He's got to stop it if we're going to be successful here in making sure people continue to believe in our democracy in Florida.
Congressman, I want to bring back in Lenny Curry. He's still with us. So, Lenny, how many ineligible voters have actually voted in Florida?
Well, here we know that an NBC affiliate in the Naples-Fort Myers area did a study, and they identified over 100 non-citizens that were on the voter rolls. In fact, in that study, they identified one lady that has been registered to vote. She's a non-citizen, registered to vote for over 11 years, and has voted in 6 elections. We know that there are non-citizens on our rolls. When you go to register to vote, you fill out a form and you check a box that says that you're a United States citizen. There's nothing in place that verifies that process, that verifies that you are in fact a citizen. We simply want to operate under the rule of law. It's common sense.
So, Lenny, you heard the congressman, though, say this is a brazen attempt to suppress democracy.
That's just a false claim. And again, the solution to really simplify this is for Department of Homeland Security, President Obama's administration, to allow us and other states, in fact, Colorado's requested this as well, to interface with their system. Immigration from beginning to end, and it will be much less likely that someone that is in fact a United States citizen be identified and contacted under this scenario.
In the scenario that you brought up,
we need more perfect data, and that data resides with the Obama administration.
But you know for a fact that those people in Naples, Fort Myers, they actually voted. Their vote was cast and counted.
We know that they're registered to vote. We know that the one example that I gave you did in fact vote.
All right, so Congressman, jump in there.
Sure, if I may. First of all, two things that I would point out. In the 2008 election, there were 16 cases of voter fraud out of 8 million votes cast. And we don't even have confirmation on this person that he's referring to ever cast a vote. We know that there were 16 cases out of 8 million votes cast. The most important news we've made this morning, Thomas, is that the Republican Party chair of Florida has admitted that there's a problem with this system, that the data isn't accurate. Given that admission, I hope that he will step forward and call on the governor, reach out to the governor like I have, and tell him to stop this so it doesn't go forward and continue to throw eligible voters off of our voter rolls.
Well, we'll have you guys change numbers.